Money talk is loud in football. Here's the rulebook you'll hear all season, simple and straight. What's active right now? The Premier League still uses Profit and Sustainability Rules (PSR) this season. A newer idea called Squad Cost Ratio (SCR) has been explored, but it isn't enforced yet. If your club is in Europe, UEFA's 70% squad cost cap also applies there. PSR checks losses over the last 3 seasons. The headline allowance is £105 million across that period. If a club spent any of those seasons in the Championship, the allowance for that club in Championship year is smaller, so the total cap drops. Go over the line and an independent commission can issue fines or points deductions. What losses really means? PSR focuses on the football business. Some spending is excluded on purpose of academies, women's football, community work, long-term infrastructure like stadium or training ground projects. Wages, agent fees, and transfer costs still hit the calculation. Why June 30th keeps popping up? Most clubs close their accounts on June 30th. A sale on June 29th helps the current window's numbers. A sale on July 1st lands in next year's set. That's why you see end of June activity. The 5-year cap on transfer accounting. Transfer fees are amortized, spread over a player's contract. But for accounting, the Prem caps new deals at 5 years. Give a player 8 years if you want, but you can only spread the fee over 5 in the books. Associated party sponsorships, in plain English, clubs can sign sponsors linked to their owners, but the deals must be fair market value. Old rules were challenged and parts were struck down. The league updated its framework. The simple takeaway: expect market value checks on friendly sponsorships. Real cases? Everton, 2023-24. Everton was docked 10 points in November 2023 for a PSR breach. On appeal, it became 6. A second case later in the season brought 2 more. The season carried on with both deductions in place. Nottingham Forest, 2023-24. Forest was deducted 4 points for a PSR breach. It pushed them into a relegation fight and changed the table overnight. Leicester City, 2025. Leicester was charged over PSR issues and referred to an independent commission. Any sanction falls under the commission's process and timeline. These examples explain why you'll hear PSR every match week. It isn't theory, it has moved league positions. 2 quick maths you'll hear on TV. 1. Amortization. A £50 million fee on a 5-year deal equals £10 million per year as the accounting cost, before wages and agent fees. Extend the deal later if you like, but the accounting cap for new extended deals is 5 years. 2. UEFA's 70% cap for clubs in Europe. UEFA counts first-team wages plus transfer amortization plus agent fees. If eligible football revenue is £500 million, the squad cost ceiling is £350 million. Clubs in Europe must fit both PSR at home and UEFA's 70% cap away. Myth versus fact. Speed round. There's a Premier League salary cap. No hard cap domestically, but UEFA's 70% ratio acts like a soft ceiling in Europe. Rich owners can just pay the fines. Owners can fund clubs, but loss limits still apply. Breaches can mean points off, not just money. Player swaps get around PSR. Each side still books a sale and a purchase. The math must fit. Just sign a giant sponsor from the owner's company. Those deals are checked for fair value and can be adjusted. Quick glossary you'll hear all year. PSR, Premier League loss limits across the last 3 seasons. SCR, proposed domestic cap tying squad costs to revenue, discussed, not active. UEFA 70%, European cap on wages plus amortization plus agent fees as a share of revenue. Amortization, spreading a transfer fee over the contract, capped at 5 years for accounting. Add-backs, allowed exclusions like academy, women's team, community, infrastructure. Headroom, space left before you hit a PSR or UEFA limit. Fair market value, FMV, the standard used to judge owner-linked sponsorships. What you'll hear on deadline shows, translated. They're fine if they sell before June 30th. They need the profit in this year's accounts. They'll structure it. Small first-year cost, larger costs later via amortization. They need a homegrown sale. Academy sales often book clean profit, which helps PSR fast. Europe changes the math. The UEFA 70% cap can restrict spending even if PSR looks okay. The deal failed FMV. The league judged a sponsor price above market, so it doesn't all count. Final take. For 2025/26, speak PSR first. Remember £105 million over 3 years as the headline. Know the 5-year accounting cap on new deals. Watch June 30th for sudden sales. And if your club is in Europe, the 70% UEFA limit sits on top. That's the money talk you'll hear all season. Explained. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe.